No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today I'm in here with my main man, my co-host, and Hefe.
What's the deal, man?
And we're having a sit down with the one and only Spoetyface.
Yes, what's going on? What's going on?
How you feeling, G? I'm glad to get you in here.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
No.
Definitely. So, okay, just to start this off, how did you two get cool? Where did this friendship come from?
It's definitely a friendship in a brotherhood now, you know. But I actually I was good friends with his brother.
His younger brother, or do you have an older brother?
No.
Okay.
Brother.
His older brother.
Tiny Ant.
Got it.
Yeah, so me and him really never had a relationship like that. We both knew each other through the streets, you know, and things like that. But once I got out and started getting into the podcasting thing and getting into my gang intervention work, I reached out to him.
Okay.
And we was actually supposed to do a show and a podcast together. We had came up with that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right before I got locked up this last time. And yeah, it's just been, we brung it in. It's just been like that ever since.
Okay. So it was always all good? You guys never had issues with each other before or anything like that?
Nah, not directly.
Okay.
Nah.
See, that's one cool thing about podcasting is that, like, I've been a lot of people that I've seen able to come together and have, you know, a cool relationship on camera and stuff that realistically, historically would maybe have had issues with each other.
Yeah, I agree. But I always say you have to be there and you got to be there in your life too as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what, fortunately enough, that's where I'm at in my life. And then we like-minded, so he's there as well. So it made it easy. It was an easy call.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were both, by the time you met, you were kind of past the bullshit era of your life and more on to just trying to make something out of yourself and do content and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, correct.
Got it.
Yeah, for sure. So like me, how I kind of like remember it. I just got on like YouTube or whatever, and Spoety was already on YouTube doing his thing or whatever. So he was doing this thing. I was hearing his name. I reacted to something that had happened. You know what I'm saying? And his stance on it, you know, and I was kind of pretty much like, man, you know, see, this how I kind of be thinking, you know, this my mind frame right here. Then from there, you know, we got in touch. I think I went on a pod with him, Spider Loke, and ODM Slim.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we first like initially met. And then, you know, just like, you know, energy, like I'll be real big on energy and just like, you know, it was just like mine, you know, just without forcing it, you know, it just automatically came together. You know, from there, you know, we locked in, tapped in, and then, you know, we just been hollering ever since. And then, you know, like I said, he went to school with my brother and stuff like that. So, you know,
okay.
So
And I remember you had reposted something I said.
Yeah, most definitely.
Something like, all right,
for sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you guys are both street dudes who are making content. Does it feel like in 2025 that there's an inherent natural conflict there, or does it feel kind of more natural? Because I feel like even like 5 years ago, if you were to ask most street dudes or gang related dudes, like if they were down to do a podcast or a YouTube channel, a lot of them would be like, nah, I ain't with that because that's like telling or that's like, you know, gossiping or all this shit. But it feels like as time goes by, dudes like y'all are getting more comfortable with that.
For sure. Like, I say that a lot, like probably 5 years ago, because that's nothing that never been on my memory board. Like, I didn't even know the YouTube universe existed outside of me going on YouTube to figure out how to put something together or take something apart or find out certain information. Like when I really got on YouTube and started doing content, that's when I started seeing the podcasters. I started seeing the No Jumpers. I started seeing the Vlads and the different stuff that was going on. So like 5 years ago, I probably would have told you, hell no. And then definitely coming from the area that I come from, that a lot of people kind of like look at being on camera, like it's frowned upon. But like for me, like with growth and like ever since I've been young, I've always been like a person. Like I always tell people, I have a saying that I might do something that you don't like, but I'm not gonna never do nothing foul. So just because I'm on camera and I'm doing this don't mean it's foul. You know what I'm saying? Because like shit, who wrote the rules? Like, you know, I know the laws of the land, you feel me? I've been in jail multiple times, you know, ain't never told on nobody when I've been in predicaments to tell on somebody and to get out. You know what I'm saying? I've always went and took my time and came back out. So it's just like, who's anybody to tell me what I'm doing on camera or a podcast is wrong? Then I know the do's and don'ts, and I just feel like as long as I can sleep at the end of the night, that's all that matters. You feel me? And you know, that's how I feel about that. And I do feel like, you know, with me coming on the internet, that like ushered a lot of people in, like from jail to the streets. That was members. You feel me? Who probably wouldn't have did it. That was like, okay, now you know, Ant doing it. Oh shit, I can do it. You feel me? So like, yeah, that's how I look at it. I don't try to get caught up in other people's thoughts because I think it'll hinder you. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I think it's a gray area in there, but I also think I will concur like 5 years ago. But my whole thing about it is like how podcasting to me it's like it's a way out. It's a way out. Like this the new way out. Not only that when I first was in the like I said, I did 12 and a half years. I had a phone the whole time. Every prison I was at, I had a phone. But I really wasn't into the podcasting or anything like that. But once I got out, I'm like, hold up, the representation for my city and a lot of dudes up there, I felt like they wasn't qualified enough to be speaking on certain things and even the things they shouldn't speak on. So I was like, wait, dang, like they up there telling my life story. They getting rich. They ain't never been in the field. They ain't never did this. I just did this. This my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, they might as well get the real deal. So that's why I'm like, hold on, let me see. You know what I mean? What's going on? And then once I on that spiritual journey, and it led me to like, you know what? The gang banging and all this, it's cool and all that. But that's only that's going to take you so far.
Because you said it's a way out, but it's like there's another side of that where podcasting could make you get deeper into shit. Like there's definitely been times I'm sitting there watching somebody's interview and just thinking like,
do's and don'ts though.
Like, damn, they might really f you up. Like for sure, there's people who really are gonna want to kill you after what you just said in an interview right there. I remember honestly the first time I interviewed Crip Mac, just thinking like, oh man, like.
Yeah,
like what the like, and he didn't even disrespect his ops or whatever, but it still was just like, damn, like I wonder, like, is that going to be bad for him? Just like, you know, is the chance of somebody doing something to him so much worse because he just did a podcast, you know? And luckily, it didn't work out that way for him. But there's definitely, you know, there's another side of that where a podcast could get you in hot water, right?
Yeah, again, but like he said, it's the do's and the don'ts and real people that really been in the trenches and they was taught a certain way. You know, we got a code of conduct. You know, that's you know what I'm saying, your word and your signature is your bond. I
remember when King Von got shot, Academics was breaking the video down on stream the same day. Like figuring out who shot him and shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that too much? That's not you?
No, I'm not gonna do that now. So that's where I stay away. So what I do, I wait for like the Flacos and the AKs to drop their content, and then I will react to it and give my opinion of what I think. But I'm not gonna give no opinion that's gonna say somebody guilty or I think he did it or anything like that. But I just like reacting to stuff. Like, you know, I'm not gonna go on Pacer and try to go find nothing and try to like go too deep into it because like I just kind of feel like the life that I led at a point in time, like that's a no. I wouldn't want nobody to do it to me. So why I'm gonna go do it? But you know, like I react to something though, but I just ain't gonna put nothing out there that's gonna slander nobody.
I'm not reacting or I don't even have no comment on no active case, no open active case. I'm not doing that. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, because even outside the street shit, like you know, the Saweetie thing that was in the news where her friend said she was an escort and then everybody's reacting to it and shit. It's so different to react to her friend calling her an escort than for me to come out and say, I talked to somebody, she's an escort. If I'm the first person who says that, that's way different. You can get sued for that. You realistically, like you're if it was like a street situation, you're doing something kind of fucked up by bringing, it was like saying, I know so-and-so killed so-and-so. But as soon as one person makes a YouTube video saying, I know that this person killed this person, we all get to react to it. And it's like, the info's out there. So what can you say about it really, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's what it got to be for me. Like he said, like I said, we not about to do no police work, no active investigations. Like it's going to be a shutting. That's why I said Pacer. Like, so a lot of stuff I react to would probably be like cases that's closed and shut. You know what I'm saying? That somebody and put their case out there and I react to it. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody I knew or something about the case that interested me. So I was just like I just seen something with dude K5 from VNG. You know what I'm saying? I was locked up with him, you know what I'm saying? And
you talking about Steven.
Yeah, and I just seen that he came out and was like that. Basically, one of his homies, he like, oh, y'all talking about I'm a snitch. You know, one of my homies made a statement on me. So I'm like, damn, and it made me react to the video because I know the dude too who he said made a statement on him. I'm like, damn, so you saying this dude made a statement on you? Like, oh, so it's just like it depends on what it is. You know what I'm saying, what I'm gonna react to. I ain't gonna react to everything. Just certain things I pick and choose.
Yeah, me too. Me as well. Like I said, it's all about the content, but hey, you can pick and choose what type of content you want to put out, and that's what I've been on. I'm not certain shit. I'm just not doing it, bro. Like I ain't crashing out. I'm not doing nothing for clickbait. I'm not doing none of that. If you mess with it, you mess with it. You want an honest podcast, somebody that's keeping it real, community activist, people that's pushing peace. Trying to bring my people together and stuff like that. Even the comedy, I'm into all that. That's what I'm about. All the other stuff, I don't really care too much for.
For sure. Yeah. So I really want to get into how you came so far that you got into like gang prevention and everything like that. But let's go from the beginning and tell us a little bit about your upbringing and how you grew up.
So yeah, like I grew up, born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. So with that being said, I was taken away from my mom by I was 18 months. So my granny raised me. My dad mother, she raised me. So I grew up in foster care. Me and my siblings, we grew up in foster care. But I was fortunate enough, back then that my dad mom took us in. So she, like I said, I had a great childhood. My granny raised me or whatever, but I was raised where I was raised up at.
So the foster home was just a short period of time.
Correct. So how the foster care system worked? They took me from my mom, but they had from the police station. They had took us I don't know if you familiar or you from this area, but McLaren Hall. You remember McLaren Hall and stuff like that?
Institution.
Yeah, it's like a juvenile hall, but it's not. It's for runaways and people that things of that sort, foster kids and stuff like that. So they took a couple of us to McLaren Hall, and then my granny was able to come get us. You know what I'm saying from there. So she got us some from the substation, and then from McLaren Hall. My dad, mother. So we was placed in her care, but it was still foster care. You see what I'm saying? So I was still awarded a state until my grandma eventually ended up adopting us.
Okay. And then that makes it official. Got it.
Yeah.
And so you say you grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and then where was the foster home place? I'm
born in the 80s and I'm raised in the 90s.
Okay.
I'm born in 1986.
Oh, okay.
So I was really raised in the 90s. So, but like I said, from me being 18 months old, I live with my grandmother.
Got it. And so you say your childhood was overall pretty good. Were you getting into trouble or anything? Or
yeah, everything in my childhood where I got in trouble, it was solely because of me. Like my God, I had a very good upbringing. You know what I'm saying? A loving home. It was just like I said, what I wanted to do. It was outside. So I started catching cases early. My first time was getting arrested. I was 11. And then
Was you from 40s yet?
Yeah, I've been from the hood since I was 10 years old.
Oh wow.
10 years old. I was already full-fledged. So I went to Los Padrinos LP at 11. I went to Los Padrinos at 11 for I think a robbery or something like that.
Really?
And then he let you out your first time or whatever. And then I went back again when I was 13, and I went away until I was 17. So at 13, I had got sentenced to CYA, which is California Youth Authority. I was going to prison at 13 already.
So becoming from the hood at 10, I mean, that's pretty early compared to a lot of people out there. What was it that kind of led you in that direction?
To be honest, all my family is from the hood, 40s and Main Street. That's all my family from. So, like I said, but I just was coincidence. I grew up in my hood too. You know what I'm saying? So my older cousins, Big Gooch and all them, they was from the hood. So that's just what I wanted to be, and it was outside my door.
With your family and all them being from the hood, was you got the honorable usher in, or did you get put on?
Nah. I went to the backyard. You already know. I got my phone, man. I definitely got my phone, man. I could have.
Who do you send to beat up a 10-year-old?
I could have.
I don't want to be on the
But listen, you know what's crazy? But it's crazy because it was about 10 of us. It was about 10 a little back. You gotta understand, the kids in the neighborhoods, they had gangs. We was gang banging before we was in gangs.
No, for sure.
And you know
So
exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
So I got put on the hood at 12.
Yeah.
But at 10, I was from a clique.
Yeah.
I was clique back.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like a little subdivision of A-Trey. So
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure,
so
for sure.
So yeah, 10, it was about like 10 of us. And you know, in order for us, we like with that side over there, like we all of us, like we fought each other. They made us all 40 because it was so young. You know what I mean? So we was the youngest over there for sure.
Okay, definitely. So, but in terms of you getting in trouble and shit, was it anything like that people were putting you onto from the set or anything, or was it more just like this is what the kind of shit that you were already going to be doing, and it just so happened that now you're from a gang?
Nah, the most I was doing before, like I really like start getting into that gang stuff, man. It was like stealing bikes, bro. You know, stealing bikes, you know.
You went to the stealing of pit bulls?
Yeah, you come on, man. You already know the backpack on it. Stealing dogs, pit bulls, mini bikes, stuff like that. Lawnmowers so we could get the motor, you know what I mean? For, to make the mini bikes and go-karts and stuff like that. But then, you know, when you once you get involved in the street stuff, see, it's different back, you know what I'm saying, than it is now. You know, it's frowned upon. People's like, oh, you was holding the strap. You was in the back then it was like you the youngest from the hood. Huh, y'all hold this. Exactly. Police come, we go to juvenile hall, we get right out. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a different time back then. So, you know, it was more structured, and then, you know, people respected the pecking order a lot more, you know. But like I said, like I went from stealing bikes and you know, just stealing, like he said, dogs and pet bulls to, you know, I'm full flat. Like I said, at 13, I was convicted of attempted murder already. I got sentenced to prison.
Oh shit! At what age?
At 13 years old. 13.
So what led you into this situation? Can you break it down a little bit?
They said they allegedly, I you know what I'm saying, I shot at a couple of people and I shot somebody. You know, but it's out in California. I don't know if it's still like that, but like because I haven't been in juvenile in so long, but it's different. It's a lot different. You remember, like juvenile, like did you ever get a chance to go to trial or anything like that? No, because I went to trial, but it was like it's whatever the judge thought. Like it's different than adult. Like when I was going to juvenile hall, it was like
juvenile. You rarely even seen trial. You know, the only trial I can remember in juvenile is me going to somebody's trial date. I was going to y'all hood. I was going to a continuation in y'all hood on 42nd Western.
What side of Academy?
And I got into it with Baby Fats from 60s, Baby Fats, Tiny Fats. And it was another dude, I can't forget his name, but whatever his name was, I heard later on he ended up turning like 111 or something. But
what's that?
111 neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
So I had a homie that was going there. He wasn't from the hood yet, but he ended up turning later on. But he was banging the hood. When I come out to school, he in the front getting down with Tiny Fats, and Baby Fats jump in. Then, you know, I got to jump in. So we all out there. We got a little melee on Western.
Yeah.
We all on probation. I got to get on. I end up getting violated and all that for that. Had to go do like 60 days, get back out. But they subpoenaed me to go to East Lake Juvenile Hall Court to try to get on the stand and testify against Baby Fats. And I got on stands like, man, like, nah, I ain't see nothing. I don't know nothing, blah, blah, blah. And they threw the case out on him and let me go on about my way.
Yeah, but it was kind of different. Like, you really couldn't like, oh, I want to take a deal. No, it was just really whatever the judge sentenced you to. I don't know if it's still like that, but it was like that definitely when I went to so anyway, they ended up giving me 3.5 years. So at 13 I had a prison number, and then 14 I was in Fred C. Nellis. I hit YA Fred C. Nellis at 14 years old, and then I ended up rolling when I was 17. Well, a couple of days before I was 17. Yeah, 17.
Did doing all this time make you like a much worse kid?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No. 1000%. Why? Like that? That's just like it's prison. And you know what I'm saying? And that's why I try to teach too as well. Like, you know what I mean, in my class. But like a real rehabilitation could be in different forms instead of confinement. Because to be honest, it only made me worse. It only taught me like how to be a better criminal.
Right.
You know, I never knew what it was like to make a shank or, you know what I'm saying, go bust on somebody. I'm talking about hand-to-hand combat. When I mean bust, like, you know what I'm saying, stab somebody and all that. That was my first experience with prison riots and, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, no, prison riots. We had riots at our school, but like real, like all out riots and people getting hurt and stuff like that. So, you know, I definitely, like, it made me worse.
Okay.
I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything. Wow, hey, then I got out tripping more. Like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made it through this. you know,
You come out and you got more respect.
striped
Or
up.
stripes for
Striped
sure.
up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I get out big dog, like, you know what I'm saying? Get out big dog, and then, you know, yeah, that just made me more full-fledged. So yeah.
So how long were you out before you caught this other charge? Or like, what was life like once you come back?
I mean, it was like I got right back into it. The only thing I didn't really have was like clothes. Other than that, I didn't miss out on nothing. But I had to get my clothes, and other than that, I was right back to the streets. Made me worse. Like I said, I was on that. I was tripping, and then I ended up going back to YA my last time because I ended up getting caught with a gun. I got caught with a gun. I went back a year, and then that's when my adult stuff started. You know what I'm saying? So I was 18 now. Once I paroled, I'm 18 now. Ain't no more YA. You know, straight county jail or to prison.
Okay. And did that change you at all, or you weren't worried about the consequences?
Absolutely not. I teach. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now too. I think for people that look like me, the worst thing I say it all the time. The worst thing that ever happened to my people is social media, gang banging, crack cocaine. Listen. This is a fact. And when you growing up in the trenches, you're youth, and most people don't understand when I say youth. It's because the way you think when you young, I know it because I was there. I used to literally think when I'm catching these cases or I'm on the streets, I'm like, man, when I was 18, I got sentenced to 3 years. I'm like, I'm 21 when I get out. I ain't nothing. I'm right back to it. So that's how you thinking. You know what I mean? And then you look up like, damn, I'm 25. It's 3 years. I'll be 28 when I get out. You know what I'm saying? I'm 29. They look like, damn, what the fuck my 20s in with?
Nah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You 30, like just like me. I'm like, damn, I look like, oh no, shit, I'm my 20s, my 30s, I'm down at 40.
But when you were actually in jail, did you hate it, or was it kind of like, shit, we're having a lot of fun with the guys in here?
I wouldn't necessarily say I hated jail. I hated being away from the street. So I'm gonna say, yeah, of course I didn't want to be in jail, but like I said, when you young, you active, and a lot of people, street dudes know exactly what I'm talking. When you on them yards, I like that outside world. That's outside. I gotta worry about this right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm only really worried about this right here. You know what I mean? But yeah, of course I wanted to be on the streets, but I wouldn't. I mean, clearly I didn't hate jail that much. I kept coming back.
See, a lot of people used to ask me that question too. I used to go to jail so much, right?
Yeah.
I used to stay out probably. I got out of jail and be out for no more than 90 days to 6 months.
Couldn't
and I'd
shake
be
it,
right
bro.
back in somebody's jail. And people's favorite question for me was, "Hey, how long you gonna stay out this time?" And that used to piss me off, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, like the fuck you mean how long I'm gonna stay out this time? Because it wasn't like that. I was trying to go to jail, but being an active gang member, and that's what I be telling people. Like, people don't understand.
Was
like,
really loking, bro. You was
exactly. It's a somely few, small percentage that might have slipped through the crack that didn't go to jail. But if you was in jail a lot, for the most part, if you was in jail a lot through your youth and you was gang banging, it was for the hood.
That's for the hood.
Like, you know what I'm saying? For sure.
And when you going in and when you going on top of that, it's like we programming. So it ain't you going home early. Your date might be January, but you going home December or January next year because we got to be involved in everything, every riot, every fight. Anytime somebody disrespect you, whatever happened, the homie get into something, they not even do nothing. We got to all go. So we never going home early. It's like I said, the active one. So. Yeah, it's like that. It's a whole nother world in prison.
But so you ever have times where you got out and then found out about some shit that happened in there and you were pissed off that you were out? Because if you were in, you would have been able to protect somebody or be involved in some shit.
I can't remember the time.
Okay.
But it's possible that happened. I can't remember the specific time, but I never missed jail when I was out. When I was out, I was out. I was happy. But like I said, it's like when you got that that mind frame and you in that mentality, you in that South Central state of mind, bro. It's like you not even worried about that. Like I'm on that. Like what's up? Like I'm out now. Like what we doing?
Right. Definitely.
And it's terrible. It was terrible that I was, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking that like that, but that's why I said like real ones, we was trained different. So we built different. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's
so
crazy.
I got a question. You said something you like basically, you know what I'm saying? Basically something bad that was, you know what I'm saying, for the people was, you said social media was one of them. You said social media, what else?
Rock cocaine.
Youth.
Youth.
And youth. What about social media?
it's cool, like for you use it for business and all that, but like my generation, you know, I'm old school, bro. Even back in my day, like I always had an old school heart. My thing with the social media is like, it's like the thing that I'm specifically talking about my people. You know, I see it in every culture, you know what I'm saying? But like specifically my people, like young black kids, young black men, it's like I'm a warrior, like you feel me, like I'm a real soldier, bro. And I was, you know, I got out the streets, you know what I'm saying, honorable discharge, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I see people disrespecting the dead, I don't agree with it.
Oh yeah,
I don't like it, bro. I don't condone it. Filming people when they taking their last breath, I don't like it. I don't like it, bro. It rubs me the wrong way. You know, it's all that. Like, you know, they be like, all right, forget them, all that. It's cool, but like if that man, like he died, like let him rest in peace, bro. It don't matter what side he from. It be things like that, or people just woofing like you way in Palmdale, Lancaster. You this that. And you causing frictions for the homies that's really in the hood.
Yeah.
So by you tagging these people, you antagonizing these dudes across the way, you sending them over to the homies. Now the homies getting smacked. Like it just be like, to me, like the internet is a good thing, but I feel like social media and this technology is empowered, like Nip said, empowered to me a lot of the wrong people, because everybody got a voice now. They could just hide behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
All right, back when I was growing up, if you was following somebody, like you was really trying to kill them. You was really on that. I mean, or you was really trying to unlive it, or whatever the case is. Like, you get what I'm saying? But now it's like it's a lot of theatrics, bro, that I just don't grow up. I mean, I just don't mess with, bro.
And that's why I be kind of telling people when they be using the word op or enemy loosely. Like I be telling people, like, bro, look, I ain't no enemy and I ain't no op of you. Definitely if you ain't trying to get up on me. Because where I come from, like if I classified you as an enemy, as an op, I'm trying to get up on you. If I had a drop on you or I knew you was gonna be somewhere, I'm trying to be there. I ain't gonna shy away from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just like that's like, it's just like, I think with life, everything has its pros and cons. And social media, you know, it has its good and it has its bad.
I don't see no good in it, bro. The only thing good I see that come out of social media now, and I use it. The only thing you can do is good on social media now. It's like it's easy to get up on a woman. It's easy to get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see no, like for my people, I'm gonna keep it a man, bro. I'm gonna keep it a man. I don't see no perks of social media for my people because we not there as a unit ourselves. So that made it worse, 50 times worse. That's the only thing. Like now you can just hit an emoji. You ain't gotta say, like you ain't gotta have no people skill. That's another thing. Like don't get me wrong, like because my son, he a gamer. And he really talented in that. Like, you know what I mean? He anything he do, like he set his mind to, he be good at.
You see, gamer?
He a gamer. So he good at that. So yeah, that takes him off the streets, but it takes away from these kids' activities. You know how many kids that don't know how to ride? I try to buy them a bike, and like, man, we don't want that. I don't, you know how many kids that don't know how to ride a bike? That don't know how to ride a skate. They don't even know how to hop a fence, bro. They ain't got no scratches. They ain't got. Remember, we used to create games and play it. Like we had fun. Like if we didn't have it, we created stuff. Like I feel like it took the creativity, took these kids. People skills. Like if you go pull a 19-year-old kid right now and tell him, hey, go walk in the mall with a piece of paper and a pen in your hand, like we used to do, and go talk to a girl. Actually, go talk to a girl and see if you can get her number. He won't be able to do it. 90% of them won't be able to talk to her. They won't know what to say. All they doing is sending emojis, and you know what I'm saying?
You see that with younger dudes too, where they ain't even thinking about girls the same way that like when we were young.
Yeah.
What the fuck else were you thinking about? There wasn't a lot to think about besides girls. And now I meet younger dudes and I realize like, oh, you ain't even really pressed about chicks in the same way that we were. That's crazy because they're just so internet minded and social media driven.
That's what it used to be a challenge to us. Who can get the most numbers and this, that, and the third. But like I said, it's good because they can make millions and millions of dollars out of it from doing nothing. So that's cool. But as far as like the gang stuff and the street stuff, it's terrible.
No, because we've all seen a million or like a lot of people who have star power, hop on TikTok, start making videos, talking to the camera, boom, a couple weeks later they're famous. Yeah, it's like that shit is the bright side of it. But the other side of it is the fact that we are all now like, and normal people especially are clued into what the lives of rich and famous people are like. And there's all these other people that are not really rich or famous who are putting out this lifestyle that they can't realistically afford, or that they are just representing because it's trying to win social media clout or whatever. And then you have young kids who think that all this designer shit or these foreign vacations and all this type of shit, that's just like normal. That's what you're supposed to be able to do.
Yeah.
And then they think that their life is kind of fucked up because they can't do that or they don't have the ability to do that. And like, I think people forget, and we're kind of like blind to the fact that there are that to the extent to which everybody is like putting on a performance for social media. Like one thing that stood out to me, I was watching God bless him, Stu Boy Blue. I was watching some of his videos from 2010 or whatever, and I'm just seeing what all the dudes in the video look like, and part of me is like, damn, like they look dirty and like fucked up. But the truth is that this is before social media, where people didn't feel like if I'm going to leave up out the house, I got to look good all the time. It's like people are just wearing slides and white beaters and basketball shorts.
It was cool to be grimy.
It's just regular. And the world has just changed so much because now even broke people feel the need to put on a fucking show as if they're not where they're at.
That's a fact. But I had to learn that the hard way too, because like I said, I got kids. I got 4 kids and 3 of them are teenagers. So even with the whole thing with Brick Baby, like I was like, dang, like I see stuff out there and people send it to my kids and it's like dang, like, you know what I'm saying? We could never take this off. Like one thing that's one up doing, you know what I'm saying? Before the internet and social media was like, all right, you know, time passed, people forget about it or I can pull over. But when you can just keep going back to it and keep going back to it and keep getting reshared and reshared and reshared and reshared, it's like, oh yeah, I don't want that. I'm cool on that. I try to stay away from that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because you will always be aligned with that. You will always be the person who did this hood, or you will always be the person who did this, that's, and the third.
That is the crazy part of it. Even if other people aren't like anything that goes viral is ready to go viral again. That's one thing you learn online. There'll be a video of some like little thing that happens, it'll go viral, and then there'll be another page that posts it 3 weeks later and it'll go viral all over again as soon as people start forgetting about it, because they know that not everybody is tuned into everything. So maybe you got 10 million views, well, I can get 1 million views by reposting the same thing. So yeah, like your worst mistake or the one thing that you do that's out of character, or the one you were at this point in your life where you wanted to say this crazy shit, but you don't necessarily feel the same way 6 months later. I mean, you got to just deal with it and explain yourself over and over. Anytime you do an interview, they're going to want to ask you about it. You know, it's like, it's crazy, like how that shit just kind of haunts you and follows you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like exactly what Jay Prince said. Jay Prince said something. He said, man, you wake up with a choice and a decision, bro. So I kind of feel like with the social media thing, you right. But like I said, in life, everything has a pro and a con. And it's just on the scale, what's going to outweigh the pro or the con. Now, I've seen the social media thing as far as with my daughter, to where she was just on her goddamn phone all day, wouldn't interact, be in her room with the door closed. You all right? You okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, barely talk. Like, and I'm like, this shit got to be depressing to her, because I know just me doing social media that I'm a person, I don't really be caring too much what people think, but you know, you do hear certain shit, and whether the shit true or not, like, you know, it still be certain quirks in you that be like, man, this motherfucker don't even know, bro. Like, I'll get up on you. You feel me? But that's the stuff that I have to like turn my mind off to, and I ain't gonna lie, and some shit will, like, to the point, I mean, to extent, if you allow it to put you in a depression state, you'll be depressed. So I kind of seen my daughter getting depressed to where I had to take her phone and like, hey, ain't no more closed doors in this motherfucker. Like when I was a kid your age, I couldn't even have my door closed. Like a lot of shit that I allow you to do, my dad just alone wouldn't allow that shit. You feel me? And I'll be trying to be like the coolest dad, but I see me being the coolest dad, it's only affecting you and your mental state. So like, if I gotta be stern and put my foot down, then that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I have seen like it affect, like social media affect, like on that aspect. But like you said, like it's good too. And I just feel like the good use of it, like whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, use it for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, most definitely for me. I'm just talking about as far whole.
Yeah, no, as in the whole.
Overall, I don't think it's. I don't think.
But I kind of feel like our people, like, all right, so like,
It's a fire. It lights a fire that you can never put out. It's hard to put that fire out. Like I said, I had to learn about that when that flaming, that DW flaming, that brick base. I was like, oh yeah, this ain't.
So when we was younger, right? When we was younger, like you really had to like go over there and get up on something. Yeah. Now today, they just get on social media and say whatever they want to say.
Yeah, that's like, that game making.
Exactly, and like I can say, with social media though, for real, like if you look at the numbers. Like from like in the height like of our gang banging days to what's going on now, like the numbers of homicides are way down, bro. Like for real, it's way down.
I want to touch on that too. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, let's talk about that because it is kind of a weird thing where all these murders are mega publicized. People make YouTube videos about it, even if it's a total not known person or whatever. There's YouTube videos breaking it down. We're all gonna know about it. But then meanwhile, we look at the murder rate in prior years, and yeah, it was way worse in the 80s or 90s or whatever. What's your thoughts on that as someone who's been around for a long time?
Gang intervention. That's what I do. That's what I'm heavily involved in. That's my passion, and that's what I do. If you look at the numbers, and it's common sense to tell you, street dudes don't align with the police. Street dudes don't talk to the police. Street dudes don't build a bond or no rapport with the police. It's a lot of these nonprofit organizations. You know, I work for a couple of them. Do gang intervention, safe passage, and all the stuff that law enforcement supposed to do. They do that. They don't get no credit. This is a fact. It take like people like me and so on and so forth. People to come together at these tables and be able to offer these type of services. And this is what I do when I do gang intervention. We at the table, people from different hoods, different people from subsections. It don't matter we from Crip, Blood, Power Rule, Hoover, it don't matter, so on and so forth. We build these bonds and these connections. Anna called me, Spody, our turtle. Hey man, I got a little homeboy over there in your hood. He's slipping your line, your homies got him. Get anything you do. Got you, bro. Don't even trip. I'm gonna pull up. Hey, that's out. Come on. You see what I'm saying? I could call him the same thing. You would think it's nothing, but it mean everything. Like literally, like I got two phones because my phone ring all the time. If I don't answer my phone, like it could cost somebody their life. You see what I'm saying? So that's my passion. It's the work that these people are putting in the streets. They've been doing it for years. Skip Townsend, you know what I'm saying? Taco, so on and so forth. Like I can say, Second Call, Ceasefire, whatever, Chapter 2. So everybody, all the nonprofit organizations down here in South LA, they're doing that work. The homicide rates are down because of them and the work that we doing. You see us up right here. This is epic. This is legendary right now. You got an A-Trade gangster and a Rollin 40 right here in the same room, and we calling each other brothers. I do this to show other people, like, bro, not saying that everybody ain't a leader or anything like that, but I do this to show the kids, like, if somebody in my status, somebody with the influence that I have can sit next to a person who you consider to be your opposition, and we can make money together and build this bridge instead of, you know what I'm saying, building these barriers, more people will come forward and do it.
For sure. So, okay, from your perspective, what's the most effective shit? Because I've heard about stuff like if somebody gets killed in a certain neighborhood, people will just kind of snap into place in terms of, people who are involved in gang intervention to be like, okay, let's talk to the people around him because we have enough information documented about who everybody is that we know that these are the guys who are most likely to go get revenge for him. So we're going to kind of try to proactively go out of our way to have conversations with these people and try to bring down the tension. Is it that kind of stuff, or is it preemptive? Do you bring people together like all the time to just try to make it so it's less likely?
Yeah. So you already had these organizations with peoples that's like-minded and on the same type of time at these tables. So them conversations has already been had. But again, like I said, it take connections. You know, you can't stop nobody. You can't stop one man from doing nothing. But like I said, when I'm doing my intervention work and I'm talking to these kids, I'm talking to them, they respecting what I'm saying because I'm the poster boy for this. Like, you don't want this. So when something like that happen, I'm telling them like, look, bro, that's cool. I know how you feeling right there. I've been there. My little brother got killed last year. I understand. You know how many homies I done lost? How many brothers I done lost since I've been in the hood? But you say that's your bro, right? That's your brother, right? All right, what good could you do? What good could you do from him in jail, bro? What good could you do right in a coffin next to him? There's no good coming. You can't look out for his mom. You can't look out for his baby mom. You can't look out for his kids. You can't keep his name alive. Nigga, you doing life and he in the ground. And it might seem insensitive, but at the end of the day, it's like I gotta get it through their head. Like, listen, bro, I been on the other side of the wall, bro. You're not gonna get nothing good out of that. Nothing good is gonna come out. And then that's the generational curse that my people was involved in. Because if one kill, then the other kill, and then the other kill at some point in time. And that's why I say the social media thing, because it keeps the fire lit. And a lot of these dudes that be on social media ain't never did nothing. They ain't never really lost nobody, but they be the main ones. If you hear all these mothers and all these people that hurt, they want peace. And these are the mothers who lost a child. These fathers, they want. If you a real human being, you really like that. I don't want to lose no more homies. I don't know about you, but I don't want to lose my homies. So why would I tell them to keep this going? So like I said, I just be out there, you know what I mean, and I just be calling on everybody else, you know, to come to the table and not be afraid, because this is gonna take. But yeah,
I mean, I got thirst into the piece, right? So, like, I don't preach. Like, for me, it's universal. Like, I don't preach no human on human violence, bro. But you know, the Bible gonna tell you eye for an eye.
That's a fact.
So you know, I'm always protect my sovereignty. So I feel like if somebody trespass against you, you got all right to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't that the exact mentality that needs to kind of be defeated to have real peace? No,
defense is different than offense.
Yeah, because if I just let you come kill, no, I'm just protecting myself. Like you shouldn't even have it in yourself to want to come, you know what I'm saying, harm me, because I don't feel that way to come harm you. Like it is no beef. Like what do you want to harm me behind?
Like imagine if right now we were able to take every single grievance between different gang members in LA and just erase them. They're all gone. Everybody's back to normal. I still feel like there's a club thing and somebody steps on somebody's shoes and they start pushing each other and punching on each other and somebody shoots somebody, and it would buy you some time, but it feels like you're gonna get back to that.
No, I don't believe my people is not that naive. What I do, I think that's ego. That'd be one of them. So you step on my shoes in the club and y'all two men decided to take it there. If you take the gang aspect in it, then we just got men. So now that's just an ego thing. You see what I'm saying? The gangs is what's keeping it going, but it's not necessarily the gangs. To be honest with you, it's people, the revenge, bro. People, we can't forgive each other, bro. And that's what it is. Like the word opposition, the word op, we too many times look at each other as oppositions instead of just looking at this as brothers. Yeah. Until you get to look at another man and don't see him, people don't even be knowing me. Like, oh, that's Spoetyface, he from Voodoo. Like, you don't even know me, bro. Why you hate me?
If I'm gonna say this, bro. If the East Coasters and the Florences can forgive each other like two separate races, bro, I don't want to hear nothing about no black gangs talking about, oh, it's too deep. Like, because some of the shit y'all don't even understand, bro. And like, and I'm gonna tell you, like, what made me transition to feel a different way. It's like when you get to a certain height in gang banging and you become privy to certain information that other individuals ain't privy to. And I seen most of the time in every neighborhood that the dudes that you look up to, the dudes that supposed to be these generals, you know what I'm saying, supposed to be these respected figures, usually didn't live up to the script that they sold to you. I lived by the script. I lived up to it. The ones that was teaching, a lot of them didn't. Like, you see paperwork on dudes, they been told, childhood friends hiding secrets, covering things up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the poison like aspect for me, you feel me? Yeah. Like, and then like when you start, you know what I'm saying, furthermore, like just doing your research, like a lot of people don't even know, like they banging these hoods and like they don't even know the history. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, if you don't even know what you come from, or, you know what I'm saying, what you a part of, like how you gonna know where you going? So it's just like, for me, like, it was like reading like a manuscript. Like I was studying, like as I was doing, and I was taking these pitfalls and I was going through the trials and tribulations, I was also learning as well too. You know what I'm saying? And I was seeing like a lot of shit with smoke and mirrors, and I'm like, oh, You know what I'm saying? Like on everything, because like right now, still today, like you got snitches that's stealing people's hoods, running hoods, or you know what I'm saying, that did something, but because they got a big family or because they got a body count, you know what I'm saying, we gonna leave that alone, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing I seen, cause I was one of the main dudes at the forefront speaking on peace in LA, bro. And I put my face on it. Because one of my comrades spoke on it and I just aided and assisted him, you feel me? So these dudes out here that's like us, they don't want to get into it with they homies or the younger dudes or the dudes who's supposed to be the up and coming us. They don't want to get into it with them behind who they saying is the opposition. You know what I'm saying? They don't. Only I'm saying because like it can be dead, bro, like for real. And a lot of these dudes don't even be from the neighborhoods they claiming. They be from the valley or like outside of LA somewhere. So like that's what I was just seeing, like in peace, like bro, like a lot of these dudes, they don't want to go against the younger dudes for who they supposed to be rivaling with. And that's the only way it's gonna change if you gonna get in there and do that groundwork, like cause you're gonna have to go against the grain.
1,000%, I concur, but I concur. But I will say is that's why it take more people like me and yourself to stay in the front. You know what I'm saying, the forefront, and you know what I'm saying, and really put our face on that. But when my epiphany came in is I was in prison. Like I knew it was BS when I didn't really look at black people no more as my enemy, because it's like I said, it's racial. I never grew up racist, but prison is racist. It's racist. So when you seeing people attacking your people or every race ganging up and going against your people, it's like it's kind of hard to like in that setting be like, I don't like you. When I was in the shoe program, I was doing the time in the shoe, I'm on a tier, and a person from Hoover like, hey Turtle, like, hey Spoety, like, you hungry, bro? Like this my main opposition, or a nigga from trouble, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you hungry? Like, just off GP, like, yeah, bro, I you know, cause you only get to go to the store once time a month in California. It ain't you going every week like everywhere else, you know what I'm saying? So if you miss that, it's over. And then you come to the hole, you ain't got your property, you know, and they offering you a people Inglewood fan, hey bro. They're like, damn, it's love, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I feel like that experience breaks a lot of people out of the spell of gangbanging. Yeah, I've heard that a lot of times.
That was my epiphany. So it's like I built relationships and bonds like that from that type of stuff. And it was like, dang, these are my bros for life now. So I'm like, well, hold on. And then it's riots in the same person you thinking about you don't like and all that. That's be the same person that save your life. I got you, bro. You turn around, he right there. Well, I'm rich. You ain't by yourself. For sure. You know, like you ain't with your and it's up like that.
That's how me and Chico. That's how me and my boy Chico from 60s got cool. We was at Victorville in the yard. It was about to go up with the Pisces, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the Pisces, they like the majority of the yard. So I ain't like on the yard, like I ain't gonna even lie. Like I ain't like the Pisces is like aggressive, like gang members. Yeah. So like they had did some bullshit on the yard. It was about to go up. And like I ain't gonna even lie. Like Chico was like, you know what I'm saying, right at the forefront. When I looked to the side, I'm about to go up. He like, bro, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like from there, like before then, we like had never really spoke. But after then, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, that was bro. You know, bro, like he ran right over there. Like I was over there by myself and like getting into it with him. And I'm like, man, I'm not even about to look for the homies, but he already had his eye on me and seen what was happening and broke over there. And when I look up, it's him. He like, shit, what's up, bro? I'm like, oh, I'm like, all right, like that. So it definitely be situations like that. First going to Pelican Bay, like, you know, a lot of homies, you know what I'm saying, was teaching me Swahili. Like one of the first homies that was giving me Swahili words was PK from Linwood neighborhood. So it definitely be situations like that as well too, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, all experiences, you know.
Yeah.
Do you still feel though, like, so at least part of like the problem is that realistically, when people listen to rap music, we've discovered this over the last, 20 years or more, that people love hearing offensive, violent, crazy, extreme shit in rap songs, and drill music has proven that to us a million times over. When you really look at like even California rap, a lot of the most famous songs of all time are diss songs or whatnot. Like I feel like that's always going to be a part of the problem that stands in the way of peace, is the fact that even if there is peace between older gentlemen from multiple gangs, that's not going to stop an 18-year-old kid from doing a song where he disses 10 hoods. And like rappers just know that that's an automatic come up, that if I diss a bunch of neighborhoods or a bunch of people in a song, I'm going to be able to get everybody to pay attention to me. And there's countless rappers where that's the first time we heard of them or first time we paid attention to them, or that's like the most famous thing that they ever did is they made a song that was super disrespectful. And it's like, I feel like that's part of the problem, is that the younger generation is always going to realize that that's a way for them to gain clout or notoriety.
And with you saying that, that's where I feel like the pecking order, and you gotta, you know what I'm saying, lay down, you know what I'm saying, lay down, you know what I'm saying, the law of the land, because you gotta look at it, look at me. Exactly what you said is accurate. With me knowing that, I can do that. I ain't never did that. And I really stood on business to diss and be saying some crazy shit. And I ain't never did that. So just like if I ain't never did it, like shit, who the fuck is you? Just to think, because it's the trended thing to do to come and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. I wouldn't just think it was necessarily rap music, because like, I feel like in every genre, like even to back in the days, like rap music is just black people reality, bro. So a lot of the people like feel like that's their way out and stuff like that. But I would agree to, like, as far as the dissing, and I also would agree with you what you said, the pecking order come in. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on pecking order too, but it's like a lot of that. It's like it's just our reality, bro. Like, you only listen to what you resonate with. I'm not gonna have a playlist of all country music because I don't. That's not my speed.
Because they're talking about a bunch of shit you ain't experienced and that you don't relate to.
Correct. Yeah. It's exactly the same as like rock and roll. I'm not shooting heroin and whatever.
They only talk about that a little bit.
I mean, whatever.
Totally really.
Depends what type of rock and roll you listening to.
True.
You know, or the blues. I'm not stressing over no broad, or so on and so forth. Whatever the case is. I just feel like it's what we resonate, and you know what I'm saying. It's sad because, like I said, that's the fire. You can't take away music, but that's another avenue, you know what I'm saying, to keep the fire going instead of putting it out.
Yeah, but okay, so instead of just you saying dissing somebody hood, that's what I'm saying. That's what
I agree with that.
That's what words is used. Like, you can use a word like our enemy, or I pull up on ops blocks instead of tomorrow I pull up on the wooty whoops blocks. You feel me? Instead of calling out names, that's when you can, like, you can substitute stuff out, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, trying to go viral, you know what I'm saying, to do numbers and knowing it's gonna cause harm, like, that's
I agree with that.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, I ain't never been that type. We ain't never been that type. So it's just like, why we allow it? Definitely, if we in a position in these communities, you know what I'm saying, to make a difference. Like, you feel me? Like, on everything, because like it's just like, I'm in my community every day, but I'm not over there gang banging. Like, I'm not on no gang bang shit, you know. Yeah. But I'm in my community though, and if I see some bullshit, like, bro, hold on, like, nah,
y'all do the same thing.
We ain't doing that.
Y'all do the same thing.
We ain't on that, bro. Like, nah.
But all right, I remember Brick Baby said this to me one time. He said, a real peace treaty is actually kind of easy, but it comes with some qualifications that nobody ever actually does, which is like, if there's going to be a peace treaty between these two neighborhoods, it has to be agreed upon by the OGs that if you break that peace treaty, we're going to kill you. But nobody wants to do that because nobody wants to take out the young, active dude who's actually willing to go do something, because at the end of the day, that's going to be the same person who protects the hood when they need it.
It ain't even. It's different. It's different forms of discipline, and that's exactly what I said. That don't nobody want to go against their own for the opposition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It goes back exactly what I said. Don't nobody want to go against their own. Now, I ain't saying just kill him, but like, if he did something, like, if we agree on something, that, hey, look, man, from this day forward, this what we own. Because what you got to understand, like, a lot of these beefs is beefs before our time. So it's like, all right, we inherit the beef, but these was beefs that was started before you were born. You know what I'm saying? And probably before some of y'all parents was born, you know what I'm saying? Or they was kids when it happened. So it's just like, when you lay certain things, and like he said, man, like, word is bond. Like, man, like, us as us being a community, protectors of each other, you know what I'm saying? Our brother's keeper, this what we own. And if you violate that, you treasonous. You know what comes.
Because that's what keeps the peace in prison, right? It's like, the reason why you won't do something to a Mexican guy is because you know that there's going to be real problems, that you're putting yourself in harm's way. So like, I feel like that kind of mentality is like the sort of thing, like the dudes, even on a street level, like what is going to convince an 18-year-old who's got anger issues, he's violent, he wants to make a name for himself, what's going to make him not go shoot somebody? If he thinks his own homies are going to take care of him, then shit, I mean, that's pretty.
We so confused. Like I say, it's as simple as this. I guarantee right now, proven fact, like I could bet $1 million right now, bro. I could probably go to any black hood, bro, and hit up a Mexican hood, man, it's not gonna get crossed out. But let you go hit up a black hood, man, that shit gonna come get crossed out so quick. It's gonna get crossed out so quick, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just like, we just like be territorial, like against like each other. Like that should be like so crazy to only go to jail to be enslaved to the rules and learn to get along with each other. You are, and a lot of people, you already knowing this, like if you get caught sliding, you're about to go to jail. And after you get past the county jail, you're about to go be cool with who the dudes you was sliding on with, homies.
Yeah, it's crazy. Definitely. So would you say you have hope for there being like overall peace in Los Angeles, or even just like a very large increase in that? Like, do you feel like, because especially like, you know, everybody knows that over the past couple of weeks we've heard a lot of stories about shit going on in South Central between various Crip hoods and Hoover hoods. Do you feel like there's something going on that it's getting worse? Because like we like last year it was kind of like, damn, the murder rate just keeps going down, and then all of a sudden this year it's like, okay, maybe that trend is not necessarily going to keep going that way.
I'm always hopeful. I'm a man of faith, so I believe what I pray for, when I ask for, you know, and we gonna speak it into existence. I'm always hopeful, but like, because like I said, I when I go to work, I step in these buildings. I'm around 30 men from all different walks of life, all different type of neighborhoods, and they all at that table for one goal. It's for peace. And you know what I'm saying? So I see hope every day. You get what I'm saying? Like when I tell these kids, hey, now you're not getting put on the hood, or you're not about to slide, and they listen to me, that's hope right there. You know what I mean? So I definitely see hope, but I say like, it's up to us to watch what we say, to watch what we do, because we leaders. So we lead and we have influence, you know. So these youngsters is looking at us. You know what I mean? They taking they cue and they line from us. So if I'm out here saying F this and F this, they feel it's all right because I'm doing it. If I'm out here pushing peace and positivity and not saying F this and F this, you know, hopefully, you know what I mean, it could be contagious. But like I said, to touch on what you were saying, it's LA, Stark City. People, I believe, like I said, be on these podcasts and they be dissing and going this and doing this and doing this, and that be because of that. A lot of that be because of that social media, you know what I'm saying, and this internet stuff, you know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on over there with the Hoovers. Maybe you could ask, what's his name, Gumby? You know, you could tell him, you know, what's going on over there. But, you know,
I just kind of feel like it furthers more to a degree, hyphen what you said about social media. So right now, right?
Can I ask you a question before you start? Not to cut you off, cause so you telling me, so if so you don't think right now, if Gumby came on here with me right now, and his homie say, if he coming like, man, I'll push peace, you know what? Because he's supposed to be influenced. So I don't know how influential he is over there. And I don't know, somebody like that. So they say whoever, but they most reputable homies are one of them dudes over there come over there and sit down right now. It's like, man, you know what?
The Hoovers got a lot of hatred. The Hoovers is like the Wild Wild West. Like, I don't think Gumby can come on here. Not even him, but anybody that's a public figure. It don't matter what their statue or their stripe level is over there to come on. Like, man, you know what? I'm cool on this neighborhood beef. When we all brothers, da 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 da. You don't think that'll have an impact? A lot of young wild dudes in the Hoovers, like they hold from what they from the 4 trade to the 1 where they all had to agree to that. Like, and doing the time right. This is like, us in the 6-0s was just speaking on peace. Like, you feel me? During the meeting, it was in the 20 Blood. Skip Townsend allowed Skip Townsend. I ain't gonna say allowed. Skip Townsend had it to where it can be had at a church over there in their neighborhood.
I work for him. Yeah,
you feel me? And so that's where we was directed to. You feel me? Over there to the church. So when I got there, it wasn't just the 8 trays in the 60s. It was damn near a gang of hoods in LA. But during that time, when that was going on and people were speaking on it, like shit, the main hoods that was like F Peace was shit. The Hoovers, the Hundreds, and the 9-0s. And I was just like, shit, we wasn't even like speaking on that, like what y'all, like, you know, the 6-0s and the homies, they older homies.
But what was the 6-0s and the 8 tray gangsters talking about? The ones that specifically came for that? From my understanding, it was more people that was with it than against it, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So let me stop you right there, if I may, bro. Mm-hmm. So that all came from a conversation, though, correct?
For sure.
That all came from a couple of individuals like, you know what, we tired of this, or a couple of individuals like, you know what, let me say something. That all came from people stepping up to the plate, bro, and just to have it. Even if you tell me no, I'm not with it, right, but at least had a conversation. So, and that be my whole point, because you can't tell me it's not no dudes from Hoover over there that don't want peace. I sit at the table with them.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm not saying you are. But what I'm saying like in general,
I just feel like this, just like even with this, like the 8 trays, we got a big area, but we more of a compact hood. Like the Hoovers, like 40s, y'all got like more numbers than us. So I kind of feel like with hoods like that, like the Hoovers, they kind of like spread out to where they got like more numbers, to where like they more defiant, bro, to where our shit is more compressed, to where like certain like heads are pressed down. Like, bro, this what it is. Like, and if you going against that, like this what it's gonna be, to where like the younger homies, like they respect certain shit. Like, all right, like we know this just ain't no anybody's saying nothing, like they got that. And I think like to where on their side, like that younger homie's more defiant, like, man, yeah, you feel me? But like, no, I know some dudes over there that want peace, but I'm just, you know, shit, like, hopefully like shit, it could be had. But like I just said, just like even when that happened with us, it was just like certain people who was just speaking out, didn't even have to speak out, like, oh, F peace, we ain't on that. And like, bro, what are y'all talking about?
Like, I definitely get it. You gonna get a lot of those, but yeah. I feel like if I save 3 or 4 lives, bro, that's I did my job.
It's always gonna be incremental. Nobody in their right mind thinks that somebody's gonna say, "Yo, we got a peace treaty," and then nobody's ever gonna get killed again. You know, it's always gonna be a slow degradation of the desire to kill each other. You know,
I work with adults. Like I said, I had conversations with adults and kids. But to be honest with you, I use my influence over the kids. My whole thing is start with the creative future, bro. A lot of these dudes, they don't want to. They far gone. I can't stop them. I can't say them. But if y'all want to come on and get on this train, that's cool too. That's why I say, if you change a life, you save a life. That's my passion, is working with kids, bro. I go after these kids. Like, this ain't what you want to do. Like, and it be controversial what I be saying or whatever the case is, because I tell my son, I tell my nephews, go be the police. I don't go what nobody talking about. If you want change, all y'all, I tell every person in my community, oh, we tired of them hopping out. They harassing us. They using excessive force. They violating our rights. Oh, well, it's none of y'all. The police department. There's you know why there's no bonds in the relationship with the police officers like it used to be back in the days, because there's nobody from our community. They way out of here. They way out. Yeah, so they don't know the area. They don't know. I'm listen. So again, like I say, I tell the kids that's growing up to me, go be a firefighter. Go be the police. Go get in Congress. Go get in politics. This why there's no black people. This why we have this. That's real power. That's real. That's how you get real change. And I don't be caring what nobody think, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying. That's why we teach our like I say all the time.
You said that.
Yeah. If I may, just let me finish before I lose my change of thought. I look at it like this. I always use the chess analogy. My people is on the board. Any good chess player know if you take off 5 pieces, 6 pieces, you got to be a halfway decent chess player. You could beat them. It's no way in heck you gonna win if you give a person 5 pieces off your board, and that's what my people do. We don't want to be law enforcement. We don't want to be no people of importance. We don't want to get in politics. We don't want to vote. All this, and the third. So how you gonna win a game of chess, which I call a game of life, if you putting yourself at a disadvantage? Everybody want to rap and everybody want to play basketball and play. Man, go be Barack Obama, bro. And none of people telling because we telling them. We ran up regular civilians. Don't snitch. Don't be the police. Don't be a fighter. This, and the third. They think everything of officials is all bad. Like you're a regular civilian. You don't even gangbang. What are you talking about on your dead homies for? What do you like? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even like all this. This the mindset of these kids out here, bro. And that's all races, especially blacks and Mexicans. You get what I'm saying? So my whole thing is to get them to see a different light, bro. It's way more than just rapping and playing basketball. So plenty of different ways. You really want change? Go be it.
So, what you saying that when you did the thing for No Jumper, when you had the hosting thing?
Yeah.
So when I was off on the side, I was talking to what's the boy name that we was calling the Brandon Slayer?
Shit, I just been calling him Mikey O, right? Yeah,
Mikey O. So boom, Mikey O, he a Damu from out of San Diego. So we is off to the side, dialoguing while, Adam in the back, you know what I'm saying? And them, they was, we was on a little break, you know what I'm saying? And, trying to dialogue, seeing how we was going to go along with the contest. But that's what we was talking about. I was telling him, I was like, man, I just think we don't be giving our people like the correct push, or we don't, be preaching the correct thing. And that's what I said. I said something about our people being in law enforcement, right? But I say that to say some little dude from neighborhood take that clip of me talking about that and put it on Instagram and like, oh, yeah, young and Hefe the police. He tell his homies go get in law enforcement. I didn't care either, but I was just laughing though. But I furthermore just did a segment about it. Like, look, bro, this is the stupidity that I'm talking about right here. You know what I'm saying? A dummy like that, you wonder why when they pull up, you getting harassed. You know what I'm saying? And they doing what they want to do, and you talking about, they just did this and that.
Illegal searches,
exactly,
excessive force, whatever you want. Like, go do it. If you want to change, go be the change.
But isn't the problem that if you're a guy from the Rollin 40s and you decide that you want to become a cop, and then you go through the police academy, boom, you get to be a cop, they're going to send you to some different area, right? Because you're going to be under hella pressure in your neighborhood, right?
I'm telling the kids in my community. I'm telling the non-affiliates. I'm not telling no members.
Right.
They do whatever they want to do. That's them. I'll go for the kids. Or the
I'm saying one of those kids, if they decide they want to be a cop, they're not going to be a cop in their neighborhood, right? Like I feel like the cops go out of their way to make sure that doesn't happen.
It's their community as long as they don't got they can't really like profile you as long as you don't have no background. They can't tie you, be like, your cousin or your uncle, your brother is woo-de-woo from this neighborhood. Just because I grew up in the 8 trades don't mean I can't work 77 division and ride through the 8 trades. 77 division, go through a lot of neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I just grew up over here. I'm not on file as a gang member.
Got it. For sure. So, okay, we got to bring this up, that there was that incident where basically, for people who have forgotten, Brick Baby and DW Flame are on podcast together. DW Flame asked somebody for a cigarette. He refers to the cigarette as a 3-letter word beginning with N that is a negative term for neighborhood Crips. And somebody goes in and turns up the volume so that something that he said real quietly is very loud, and people are able to realize that's what DW said. And people immediately start getting on Brick Baby's ass because he was there. He's kind of perked out, to be totally real. You can see it. I feel like I could judge when Brick is in a different state of mind. Yeah. And so he doesn't say anything. He's just kind of like, oh, whatever. And when he talks about it afterwards, he says, like, I didn't want to make it awkward. I didn't want to fuck up this podcast. I knew that he didn't mean it like that. I guess like me and a lot of people, we didn't know that was something that DW Flame's neighborhood or whatever, that might be a normal thing to say there or whatever. So Brick wasn't all that surprised. But then you and For Extra took issue with it and actually showed up here, and that ended up being a whole moment. How would you describe that from your perspective?
Well, it's definitely one of the moments that I'm not proud of. Cause like I said, you can never take that off the internet. And the things that I'm doing, the great things I'm doing in the community now, you know what I'm saying? And like, as far as my kids, they will always be able to see that side of me. But it was never an issue. First of all, shout out to DW Flame, his brother, you know what I'm saying? And free the Brick, not the trick. They all bros, you know what I'm saying? But I had to go get there with them, you know what I'm saying? And we had conversations as men, you know, we was all being petty, but my problem, the only issue that I took with Flame is like, okay, you on that or you not? You say you not on that, then bro, this a whole podcast based in LA. You know what that could cause on the streets. And that was just my only like, if you want that, you want that. You know what come with that. I don't gotta tell you that or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But clearly you not on that because you be around our homies, like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I talked to him like we both hollered as men, and he like, yeah, you right, bro, or whatever the case was, you know, my bad, or whatever the case was, you know, and it was just that. It was never an issue with me and Flame. I'm just like, bro, you up here, you know what that's gonna cause. Oh, that could cause a gang war. It's people from his hood that live in my hood. It's my people from my hood that live out there. You get what I'm saying? But I was mad at Brick for not checking it right there. You know what I mean? Because you, whether you want to or not, you're a representation of a whole community.
What should he have said?
I don't know. I'm not gonna put no words in his mouth. But you know what I'm saying?
Don't call it that.
But again, you know what I'm saying? From my understanding, they had that type of relationship, which is cool because, like I said, I got relationships with different dudes with different hoods too. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with their relationship. That's not the problem. Why I didn't want it to cause no friction, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? So the bro, he should have said something because he, like, you know what I mean? He a representation of a whole community. But like I said, man, Brick, we cool. Shout out to the homie, you know what I'm saying? Free him fast. And DW Flame, like, you know what I'm saying? That's just my whole thing. Like, bro, y'all could literally start, y'all not tripping because of the relationship y'all got, what they had, you know what I'm saying? So to y'all really ain't tripping on each other, but to the masses, that's all I was saying. To the masses, bro, you could start a whole gang world over there, and that's just what that was, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad that shit seems like it kind of went away. But yeah, that was definitely an awkward one. That was a moment where it just was like every week, just some new drama just kept popping up. People now talk about like, oh, I'm kind of bored with no jumper. I'm like, okay, I feel you, but like, bro. It was weird. It's just shit kept happening over and over where there would just be crazy controversy. I'm not gonna lie, Brick brings that energy. But him and DW being on a podcast every week was really bringing that energy because they just like, you know, I didn't fully understand at the time, but there was just always going to be a little bit of a competition between them just because of where they're both from. But yeah, that was shout out to both of them, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely. So, real fast, these are a couple like things I like to do for the people in the community. I'm hosting in December. I'm gonna put it on my platforms when we got the official date, but it's going to be in December. I'm hosting my first annual father-daughter dance.
Really?
Yeah, it's a big absence to that in our communities, especially the inner cities. You know, if you go in like a rich neighborhood, they offer that at in the schools. You know, unfortunately, where I come from, at least where I come from, I don't know if they offer it where you come from. We never had no father-daughter dance, you know, be able to pull up. And then, like I said, most people that look like me, black and brown, you know, they just either dead or in jail, you know. So the only time we get to dance with our daughter is at a wedding. We giving her away, you know, and not a lot of women, you know what I mean, get married. They do, but we just don't be there. So I got my first annual, which I'm doing for the community, father-daughter dance.
That's great.
Yeah. To get you know, the fathers, you know, new and old fathers, it doesn't matter the age, opportunity to have that dance with their daughter. It doesn't matter. You know, they could just pull up. If you have multiple daughters, you could bring those as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your daughter. If you don't have a daughter, you got a little sister or a niece or a little cousin, you know, that her father is absent, you know, we want to get him an opportunity as well. So that's going to be the event that I'm putting on right now for the community. You know, it's going to be sponsored by a lot of people in the community as well. Yeah, so that's just what I'll be on, bro. Growth and change, man.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But okay, would it be fair to say that there's a little bit of conflict in the 40s in terms of just different personalities? Like over the last year or two, we've seen so much growth and so many different people prospering, but then that also kind of has resulted in some infighting. Would you say that's accurate?
I mean, obvious so, like obviously so, you know, but like I said, that's why I walk my path, and you know, everybody got their own different journeys. And I just, you know, I'm walking my path. I'm walking my journey. You know what I mean? It's no secret. You know, my cousin is 4 Extras. You know, OTB, by the way. Shout out to 4 Extras. You know what I'm saying? Off the back.
Off the back.
Yeah, off the back. You know what I mean? Yeah, OTB, man. OTB. Yeah, like I said, you know what I'm saying? That's he more of a brother than a cousin, but it's you know, different personalities, and it's a lot of other one of my homies. You know, that's my homies that's viral and stuff like that. That's in the public eye. But like I said, I just do my own program, and I try to support them anyway. You know, it doesn't matter. That don't stop me from whatever they doing or whatever they saying. You know, I just keep positive, being positive. That's
But
it.
is it ever hard to be positive when it feels like people are trying to throw you in the mix, or you end up just getting wrapped up in stuff that, like, because I feel like you are kind of always dealing with that conflict, like the situation with Brick felt like it was important enough that it needed to be addressed, and then at the same time involving yourself and stuff like that kind of makes you look a little bit less focused on the mission that you have in terms of making the community less violent, more peaceful and everything, huh?
That's a fair statement. I'll say that's a fair statement. But again, that's why I said, like, that's one of the moments I feel like I could take back. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want that to take away from the work that I'm doing in the community or whatever. But yeah, I'm always going to align with anything that be associated with any negativity that's going over there, because that's my community. So of course they like, oh, well, he from over there, you know. So, and of course if my cousin, you know, is something, they're gonna see what I do.
For sure, because I personally, I didn't really know how controversial you were until somebody told me. Somebody said, I was like, yeah, I'm interviewing Spoetyface. They said, oh, you should go listen to the first song on the Fat Jack and X4 mixtape. And I did. And sure enough, sounds like a diss song. People taking aim at you. How do you approach something like that when you also are on this bigger mission?
Listen, I worry about the people who matter and the ones that don't. It's just like, it is what it is. Like I said, I just put my faith in God, and you know what I'm saying, I'm walking my walk, you know, and like I said, man, they out there. The haters gonna hate, and you know, the people that don't want to see it, they're gonna disagree. But I feel like that's the problem. A lot of people can't agree to disagree in a proper manner. We always got to take it to violence. It's okay if I don't agree with you. It's okay if we don't have the same views. It's okay if we don't believe in the same thing. That's the good thing of free will, you know. And I just believe, like, too many times, so often, if we have a disagreement, it's leading violence. Like you literally have people getting into fights or trying to unalive people because of political parties and what side you on, and you see them fights all the time on the airplane and just the bus station, whatever the case is. Oh, Trump or Biden or Obama, you know what I'm saying? And like it's like okay, to me, in my personal opinion, it's like, believe what you want to believe, do whatever you do, you know what I'm saying, as long as you ain't offending nobody, or you know what I'm saying, you're not disrespecting nobody. I don't see what's wrong with it. Let's be able to agree to disagree. We all human beings.
So when you said that X4 needs to be put off, does that still stand? Sorry, I was just curious.
Man, if you know, you know, man. I said what I said, bro.
And what I'm hearing, that's Fody business, none of our business. We got to stay over here, me and you. We're on this side of the table. They got their own thing going on. I got you. Okay, so I'm curious about the hoodie that you're wearing, because it's got the Star of David on this sleeve. I can't see what's on that sleeve, but the Truth Seekers logo. Okay, so how would you describe what this represents to you?
Everything, like this my organization. You know what I'm saying? Truth Seekers, Inner City Outreach. You know, it's spiritual, it's biblical. Not only that, you know what I'm saying, it's like I said, it's outreaches for the community, but this just my beliefs. You know, I'm Hebrew Israelite, so okay, you know, this all that, the tassels and the fringes, you know, and on the back it got, you know, the scripture, you know. How
long ago did you or when did you discover that, and how'd you get turned on to it?
To be honest, I came into the truth in 2018. I was in prison, and my best friend at the time, which ended up turning my rib, she started enlightening me on it, and then I started doing my research and really reading the Bible, and then that's why I took it on.
And has that changed your life? Is that something that is that necessary and inherent to your sense of wanting to make the community better? Like, do you think that you would have that mentality if it wasn't for your religious beliefs as well?
Two things. Yes, and no. So absolutely 1,000% yes. But also what made me want to change is that time I got, it broke my back. I wanted the people that at time actually. It sounded like, bro, I needed that. I ain't gonna lie, it sound crazy, but the extra, cause I was only sentenced to 6 years. I'm gonna answer that question, but I'm gonna real fast. I was only sentenced to 6 years, but I ended up getting an extra 8 years. I caught attempted murder when I was on the inside on the inmate. So I did that 6 years and turned around and did, you know what I'm saying, the 8. So had it not been for me catching that 8 years, I truly believe I'd be dead right now. I'd have been in jail for life. Wow. For sure. 1,000% for sure. Because I was getting out on the same mentality. Revenge, seeking revenge, you know what I'm saying? Want to do this, I'm on this and I'm on that. And I just wasn't ready to get out.
Did that just totally crush you that you thought you had 6 years and then some shit you got into in there?
I cried. I had to take a knee. I was Colin Kaepernick. I took a knee. Bro, it broke my heart, bro. Like, broke my heart. Imagine doing 6 years, you get to the gate, they're like, oh, no.
Sure.
No.
Wait, you didn't know that you were gonna get this extra time?
I knew, but I was almost to the house, and they picked it up. So long story short, California.
You left the jail? No, you didn't leave the jail.
No.
Okay, yeah.
So from I believe 2006 or whatever, all the way up to recent 16, 17, California was overpopulated. So they was sending their inmates out of state. They was getting contracts with CCAs and they was out of state. They was sending us out of state. I was way in Tallahatchie, Mississippi, Siri, Oklahoma, and my last stop I was in Eloy, Arizona. And that's what I ended up catching my case at, attempted murder on an inmate. So we was out there. And that happened. So since I was in Arizona, they charged me in Arizona and they gave me 8 years with 85% out there. So I was pretty much about to come home. I was like maybe like 9-10 months away from being paroled. And they ended up picking it up 6 months before I paroled.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did 6 years. I maxed out on that 6 years and turned around and got another 8.
Were you on your best behavior after that or trying
Absolutely
to be?
Not.
No.
Absolutely not. I was worried. Absolutely not. I was worried. I got that. I got a fresh 8 years. I think, bro, fresh 8 years. But like I said, when I start coming to the truth, and that time started wearing on me, that's when I feel like the transition changed me. Once that 8 years I got that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm old. I just didn't have no fight in me. I ain't gonna lie. Bro, it beat me into submission, bro. I'm one of the few people that actually learned that time. It beat me into like, oh no, I gotta enjoy my life. I got my kids, teenagers, bro. Like I ain't got another day in jail in me, bro. Like, nah, I'm cool on that. It ain't living. Jail ain't it.
Yeah.
Jail ain't it. But actually, you know what I'm saying, my faith, my faith is definitely what pushes me forward in the community. But plus working with kids has always been my passion as well though. So,
Do you ever preach on the sidewalk or anything like that? I'm just curious. What, you seen them?
Man, you out of pocket.
No, there's certain areas on Ventura where you see shitload of motherfuckers out there doing it.
No, listen, man, listen, hold on, first and foremost.
Man, when he preach,
listen, I would, listen, hold on. Let me
go on Vernon and Western with the speaker.
I mean, I would, listen, I would if that's what it took, but listen, shout out to the 12 tribes, everybody that's out there doing that, because that take a lot of courage and a lot of knowledge, you know what I'm saying, to get out there. So them absolutely my brothers out there. I don't know whatever school or camp they is, but I'm absolutely my brothers. Have I ever been out there? Yes. Have I ever preached? Unfortunately, nah. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would if that's necessary. You know what I'm saying? If it took for me to get there, I like to go where I'm most effective at. Everybody not a preacher. Yeah. Everybody don't have that, but what I have, I got a hell of a testimony, bro. So I can't give you every scripture. I can't point to I probably don't know all scientific facts. But what I could tell is this 14-year-old and this 15-year-old, look at me, bro. I'm 39 years old, bro, and I probably spent 20 something years a day. You know what I'm saying? I can tell him that you don't want this. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you that. So I have a different. I'm not a traditional teacher, but I feel like my methods is very effective.
Because I mean, just thinking it from your perspective, like bringing people to religion is good, but turning kids away from killing each other is like immediate life or death shit that like nothing could be more imperative than that.
Yeah, I'll agree 1,000%. But like I said, this is not a religion. This is who we are as people. We don't look at it as a religion. This is who we are as a people. But I agree with you 1,000%. And I feel like my calling is to get after these kids. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You're trying to change the world, but do you feel like in a more general sense that the streets are kind of dying, in that like the world as a whole is kind of like losing their interest in the streets? It feels like now a rapper snitching is not nearly as big a deal. It just feels like a lot of this like invincibility thing that like gangs and street shit had is kind of like wearing away. You'll see Twitter threads of Charleston White used to stand out so much for basically saying gangbanging.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of like a lot of people saying that shit now.
Yeah.
Feels like that is a big change.
Yeah, I definitely think we're almost you know what I mean, last of a dying breed. And the streets are changing. I feel like when I got off from doing that 12 and a half, I'm like, oh, this is different. This ain't the same. For sure it ain't the same. What's allowed right now would never would have been allowed back then. It just overall, just period. Like, you know, it's evolution, man. You know, like I said, this technology out here, you know, this technology out here, cameras everywhere and face recognition. It changed a lot. You just can't just do what you know what I'm saying, you normally do. You know what I'm saying, or you used to do, but most assuredly, you see a lot of people that snitches or people just associate themselves, you know what I'm saying, with people who's considered to be a snitch.
Because even when you're talking about your son being a gamer, I mean, that is kind of like to call that social media is kind of a stretch or whatever is kind of like two separate things.
Why you feel that way?
I just feel like
he streams as well, though.
But as I'm saying, like gaming and shit is like almost like a sport in a way, aside from the physical aspect. But
they got their whole world of communication.
That's what I'm saying. But like to a kid like that who grows up and his hero, I mean, I'm just assuming or whatever, it might be somebody like a KSI or a Ninja or like somebody who's become famous off playing video games and streaming and shit like that. If you grow up and you're looking at that as the coolest thing that you could possibly be is to be a millionaire off making computer off your computer, then what do you think of the guys who are selling crack on the corner? I mean, that doesn't necessarily hold the same allure, you know? It's like, I feel like like in the 80s, that was right in front of your face. And what was the cooler thing? To go be Michael Jordan? Like, yeah, I guess, but that's not very approachable. You know, nowadays it's like kids are getting their role models from the internet and looking at the world in a different light. Not all kids, but a lot of kids.
Yeah, I see that. But when you look at the masses, I mean, when you look at the internet, that's what you see. That's what you do think. But I'm in the trenches, bro. My son is one kid. Yeah. I see 50 of them, 50 different ones. And they all hungry. They want that street life. Adam, they trying to be in the streets. They 13, 14 years old. They want, I'm not going to school. I'll be on them. Like, y'all know, hey, go to school. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely see it. I agree with you to a certain extent. But like I said, I'm in the trenches. My son, he just, a couple kids, okay, whatever. But I see about 50, 60 of them every day. That's what they want. They want to hang out. They want to smoke and drink and pop pills like they grown.
I mean, you seem like you're very proud of your son for being appreciative of other things, but like, how would you necessarily have approached it if your son wanted to live the exact same life that you live?
You know, it's crazy because that was one of my worst fears. That was one of my worst fears, and to come home to him. And him be the game. I'm so thankful, bro. I'm so gracious. But I just know me. That was one thing I said, man, if I have a son, he not gonna never gang bang. He not gonna never did this. So I would have definitely came home. I would have broke him down. I would have had to break him up. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have had to break out of it. I would have had to break him up. But like I said, I'm so gracious and he different, bro. Like he don't even care about the streets. And I'm like, how was I? You know, I just, like I said, I think that I give all praises to the Most High because I wasn't nothing like him.
Yeah.
I wanted all of it. You know what I'm saying? He nothing like me. So yeah, I definitely would have to break him up. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't allow that, man. And like I said, I'm grateful because not a lot of men, you know, that live the lifestyle that I live, you know, they kids the kids are the mirror of them. They wanted to do the same thing that their fathers did.
Yeah,
and I got lucky. I got lucky.
No, definitely. So, okay, what else are you working on, and what's your message to the people out there? What's the most important shit that you want to spread to the youth?
I would say to the youth, and I would say to the adults, man. Let's start whether you black, brown, white, or whatever the case is. It don't matter where you are, Asian, whatever you identify as, he, she, whatever. Let's start looking at each other as brothers. Let's start being able to agree to disagree without bringing violence upon each other.
Yeah,
it's only one earth, and we all gotta live here together. So once we start looking at each other as brothers instead of oppositions or identifying other people as their race, we'll never be able to bring it together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like if we start looking at each other as brothers and just showing the common decency, respect, say excuse me. You bump into somebody, man, excuse me, bring that back. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. It's all right. It's all right for two men to talk. Too many times we use egos. A person feel like they can't, even though they know that they're wrong, they're gonna stand on wrong. We gotta stop that. If you know you wrong somebody, it's all right. Or to have a conversation with your brother or another man, like, you know what, my bad, eh? That's my bad, homie. And I feel like that's what's wrong in the world. Nobody wanna say my bad or I'm sorry. They feel like it makes you lesser than man. Are you explaining yourself? You know how many lives would be saved if a person just said my bad, or you know what, homie, I apologize?
Not a lot of that in the streets. Yeah, a lot of apologies in like the mainstream media. You know, a YouTuber gets caught. He said the N-word 10 years ago, whatever. He issues an apology. You don't see a lot of that in the streets. You know, it's just, and there's always like situations where I feel like, oh man, I hope this situation doesn't get worse. I hope they're able to kind of squash this beef or whatever. And then I'll just see one of the people on one side say one offensive ass thing, and I'm like, oh hell no! Like this is gonna be tough to have them let go of this anytime soon. They're probably just gonna have to not see each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And also accept apology.
Yeah.
If somebody come to you as a man or as a woman, and it take a lot of courage, and they, you know, and they put themselves in a vulnerable position like that to holler at you, listen to them, accept their apology. Accept their apology. You know what I mean? Again, you know what I mean? Lives will be saved if you listen to somebody and accept their apology. You're not too good to accept somebody's apology, but yeah, that'd be my message to the people out here. I mean, you know, like I said, I'm working on music right now. I'm putting together an LA Cypher right now, and like I said, they can follow me on all the platforms I'm on there. Spoetyface _SPOETYFACE. Also, man, my cousin got the show with Sad on the 23rd, man. You know what I'm saying? OTB, we gonna be up in here. Go support that. And we got our podcast.
That's what I was gonna say. Word is there might be a podcast.
Yeah, we got the Off the Bag podcast coming right now. We finalizing everything, getting the merch. We putting that together. That's gonna be real dope. Fire interviews on the way, already booked. Good content. You already know his personality, so you know we gonna be something like the Yin Yang Twins, man. You know what I'm saying? Spoetyface and 4 extras.
What was that?
Bring it together.
I forget.
Got that Spoety extras thing going on, man.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Fire. All right. And Hefe, thank you for lining this one up. It was a good conversation. I'm glad we got to finally do this. Wait, what were you locked up again for recently?
So real fast, remember I told you I caught the case in Arizona?
Yeah.
I paroled Arizona. They wanted me to stay out there. I came home.
Ooh, okay.
So I was out 18 months in. So they got me for absconding. They extradited me out there, and then instead of paroling me, they made me do all my parole in here in 11 months. I did 11 months for absconding, bro.
Oh, that's cool.
No, that ain't cool. That was fucked up.
Well, I mean,
but the good thing about it, I ain't on parole, I ain't probation no more. I ain't
it's all over now. Okay,
so,
got it.
So no papers, no nothing.
Okay. Well, that's good, man. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Spoetyface, appreciate you, man. Much love. Thank you for coming through. Dang, he got a strong grip right there. Don't play with him. All right. And Hefe, appreciate you making it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
No Jumper, coolest podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. We're trying to hear some thoughts on this episode. Appreciate y'all.
Hey.